Visible sweat stains can make people think you have poor hygiene. Even worse, if it happens often, you might even be branded as that guy who sweats a lot, which is obviously not a nice label to have. So in this video, we're going to simply cover how to reduce the risk of sweat stains appearing. Sweat stains are the silent but powerful killer of your image, whether professionally or socially, especially in situations when you want to appear cool and confident. Your body betrays you by sweating just under your armpits, right? This can make people think or believe you have poor hygiene, or worse, mess with your sanity when you're at a social event and you have to constantly remind yourself not to raise your arms too high because you might expose those sweaty armpits. What's worse, depending on your choice of clothes, you can even further highlight that you have sweaty armpits, which is annoying. And maybe this sounds familiar to you, hopefully not, but imagine you're at a lively party. The room is dimly lit with strobe lights flashing or disco balls scattering the light, which ensures that no spot stays in the spotlight for too long, creating this sense of mystery and excitement. Now compare this to the end of the night, when all the lights suddenly turn on, revealing the details of the people you've been dancing with nothing to distract it. You'll notice everything. And just like the disco ball, your choice of clothing can help divert the focus on other elements of the outfit, therefore distracting from any sweat stains. Personally, in the past, I only wore plain shirts with a blazer or a cardigan on top because I knew, especially in a professional setting, when you have to give, for example, a presentation, the focus is entirely on you with no way to distract. So no matter how warm I'd get, I wouldn't take off the blazer because I knew my sweat stains would be visible and destroy my image. Which brings us to the problem and the solution. The problem with plain shirts is that there's nothing else to look at, right? So any wet spots or changes in color are easy to see. The plain color makes every little thing, like sweat marks, stand out more. Instead, consider wearing shirts with patterns like plaid, houndstooth, or paisley, to which gives people other things to look at. Sweat stains aren't just a fashion disaster. They could be ruining your social life. Dealing with sweaty armpits can be really frustrating. If you're like me, you've probably tried everything to hide it, right? Once you've noticed it's starting to build up. No one wants to be known as that guy with the sweaty armpits, right? Whose social life is essentially wrecked. Imagine you've just ordered a spaghetti bolognese at an Italian restaurant with a pristine white tablecloth. Every spill and splatter stands out. Worst case, implying that you can't use cutlery properly, right? Now, if the table had a dark tablecloth instead, spills would be far less noticeable because of the dark because of the dark color. Similarly, when wearing dark colored shirt can help hide sweat stains or making them less noticeable. Remember, the higher the contrast of your garment to the sweat stains, the more visible your sweat stains will be. Therefore, the two best colors to mark sweat stains or mask sweat stains due to the low contrast are black and navy blue. On the flip side, the worst colors, the first one essentially is white, because sweat can turn the white fabric into shades of gray or yellow, especially around the armpits or the back. And then further, light and medium gray shows sweat immediately, because gray highlights darker wet patches. A bonus tip, if you still want to wear bright colors, especially in the summer, to not, die of heat, consider getting an undershirt with a color similar to your skin tone. It will be hard to see underneath a white shirt and will absorb the sweat, because it prevents the sweat from reaching your shirt. And from a personal corporate experience point of view, consider using an undershirt in any professional situation. That alone will help massively. I might link the ones that I'm using in the description, by the way. So much for the bonus tip. If you're constantly worrying about sweat showing on your clothes and not leaving quick enough, then this next point might be an easy fix. However, if we get this point wrong, then you might sweat even more. You could also increase the risk of sweat appearing faster and taking forever to dry. But first, I want you to imagine it's a really hot summer day. I live in London, so 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit is enough here to cause quite some excitement amongst the shivering English. And while it's nice to be in the pub, park, traveling to the park with the tube, aka metro, and no air conditioning is essentially a 20-minute sauna session in which you'll be sweating through your clothes. On the plus side, this is where you can learn a lot of British curse words and phrases such as bollocks or blimey. In any case, just as every metro traveler wishes for a working air conditioner to keep them cool and prevent them from sweating, the choice of clothes we wear massively impacts how quickly we start to sweat and how fast the sweat dries off. Therefore, consider the material of the garment that you're wearing, which can minimize sweating and dry quickly enough so nobody notices. The general advice is to go for linen fabric. And it's true, linen is great because it's breathable and affordable, plus you can buy it nearly everywhere. But when I researched the topic in more detail, there are two other materials that could help in managing your body's temperature by being breathable, moisture wicking, plus they dry very quickly. At first, I really didn't think this would work, but there's a special kind of wool made from sheep that live where it's both really hot and really cold all year. This wool can keep you cool and dry. I tried some of the clothes made from this wool because I was, sure, and was pleasantly surprised at how breathable they felt. They're definitely not cheap, like really not, and you might struggle to find them. Personally, I wear them with an undershirt because the material feels a bit funny at first. So this sounds interesting to explore. You should try and see if merino wool could be an option for you. Another fabric you might want to try is one that is usually blended with other materials, but it's super breathable, dries quickly and moves sweat to the outer layer as well. And again, it's not the cheapest option, but could be worth trying out. The fabric feels a bit like silk on the skin and is called lyocell, sometimes also referred to as tencel. The goal is to look for clothes that let air in and keep you cool. It's best if they can soak up sweat and dry quickly. Knowing these tips, right, should help in reducing the risk of ever being branded that guy with poor hygiene. But that's just one part of dressing better. Sadly, a lot of men wear pants or trousers that don't fit right and don't look good on us, which sometimes destroys our entire style. To make sure you're not one of them, watch this video next.